Yeah.
Spoilers. Where should we start? Should we start with overall thoughts?
Sure.
Okay, what'd you overall think?
It was fun. It was good.
It was fine, good?
I enjoyed myself. You know, there wasn't any moment where I was like, whatever. It was enjoyable.
Loved this movie. And when I was a kid, I watched the first Incredibles a bunch of times, but also I had Incredibles Rise of the Underminer, the PS2 game, where you get to play as Mr. Incredible in Frozone and then stop the Underminer. And it's a very fun game for especially two players because, you know, you tag team and you save the day and whatever. I am super into Incredibles, but after like 2007 or 8, I completely forgot about it. Because there was like no more tie-in merchandise, no more toys, no more than, and also I started to hit puberty and have sex, and that kind of changes everything that you care about in life. But now this thing is in theaters. Now the first trailer kind of got me back into it. And I was like, oh, okay, I remember this. This was so fun when I was a kid. I can't wait to go back into that. I looked at the timestamp. It is 14 years late.
Yeah.
So that's never a good sign. And let me just say, this is the exception to the rule in every case.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Absolutely love Incredibles 2. I'm not sure if I rank it above or below the first one, but it's definitely with the first one, kind of like Deadpool 2 for me. It's like Deadpool 2.
Well, I think Deadpool 2 is better than the first Deadpool movie.
I think they're both generally equal. I'd have to look at them both, but I almost don't want to do a review show because I just like watching the movie and enjoying it. Like, that made me a kid again. After like 15 or so minutes into the movie, I was 10 years old. I was like,
as
fuck
opposed
yeah.
to always when you're 10 years old.
Shut the fuck up. Even younger, I think 8. I was 14 years ago. 7 or 8 when the first movie came out.
Yeah.
Good lord. Anyway, so I was around that old when I first watched The Incredibles 1, and I felt that way in the theater all the way until the end, which has shocked me. Like, I did not think I would just snap right back into it. You know what I mean? Like, it's so hard for me to apply a critical lens to a movie that's A, well written, B, beautifully animated in every way. Like, the animation was
really
phenomenal.
Very well done. It's Pixar, so
And
you don't expect anything less.
Exactly. And C, taking nostalgia out of it, it stands on its own as a great movie. Adding nostalgia, it is a wonderful experience. And I'm glad I paid money. And I hate really paying money for anything. Especially movie tickets, because I have Movie Pass. And I might Movie Pass this again and go see it again. I'm still just shook.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Don't ask me for a 10 out of 10 rating because I'll just give it a 10 out of 10 probably.
I can't wait till we get to 10 out of 10 at the end.
I'm still hitting that high where it's like, holy shit, that was so fun. I felt like a kid.
I can't wait to ask you for your 10 at the end.
Okay, thanks. What are some negatives?
Your plot was pretty predictable. You knew it was going to happen.
Halfway through when she's like, oh, look, the screenslaver is like this. I was like, oh, it's either the business guy or the sister
I thought
or
it was
both.
the guy at first,
Yeah, it's either one or both of them, and it was one of them. So
yeah, the plot was a little predictable, which kind of sucks because, again, if I can predict the plot of a movie, I'm like, oh.
True, but
I want to keep watching.
I love how Mr. Incredible's struggles were so human.
Yeah, that was actually really good.
Like, he is Mr. Incredible. Every problem in his life he's solved by being Mr. Incredible. And now
he can't solve being a parent,
being a dad. And it sounds like a stupid like sitcom premise, like, how is Derpy Derp gonna take care of this baby? Like, it sounds so stupid. And
but
the
then
movie,
you watch it was the best part of the movie.
Yeah, the movie handles it so well with this incredible creative force.
The interactions with him not sleeping and trying to take care of the kids was probably the best part of the movie.
I know. A short that really stuck, because I told you I was into the tie-in merchandise. A short that really stuck with me for the first Incredibles was Jack being babysat by the babysitter. It's an extended cut scene from
I
it's like
remember that.
5 or 6 minutes where the babysitter just goes through the motions of trying to predict his powers. And
doesn't she quit at the end? Like, oh.
The ending scene, I believe, is in the movie where Syndrome goes to pick her up. Syndrome convinces her that he's a sitter, and that's why he has a S on his chest, because he's the sitter. And he wanted BS.
Yeah, I remember that.
But
I remember that.
Yeah, it was one of those things. But
I remember that better than the movie.
But no, just like seeing that short that I remember from over a decade ago and loving and forgetting all about and just hitting me again full force in the movie as a plot point, handled so well, that is better than any Marvel Cinematic Universe movie since maybe Spider-Man Homecoming, maybe even before that. Like, holy shit, that is... Oh, I rode that high. I'm still on that high. I can't even talk about it correctly. I'm so happy with this movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's top 10 easy for me this year, anyway.
The Mr. Incredible stuff was great. It was definitely a very human character. A lot of superhero movies, and this technically would be a superhero movie, I guess, lack a human element to them. A lot of them really do. A lot of them are just like
Yeah.
this big fantasy thing, and this has a big fantasy element, but it also has a struggle with real life element, which is great. I want more of that.
Something that I thought would
Very
be
nice.
a negative was when I first saw what Void could do and make the teleporter rings.
That was cool.
That was cool, but I remembered that on one of my Facebook targeted pop-up ads was Dash running through all the rings, and I was like, oh, she's going to be a villain. That's what I thought would happen. It'd be a big twist. But they all just got hypnotized. And aside from it being a little predictable, I really can't fault it.
That's true.
Like, holy shit, what a fun movie.
There was some really good dialogue too, actually.
Great bits. Anything visual with Jack teleporting or breaking through a wall or phasing through a
That
wall.
was really interesting because you never knew what he was going to do.
Exactly.
Very unpredictable.
Or
for him.
even, it's a situation where you know what he's going to do. You know he's just going to go through the wall or blow something up. But when he does, it's handled such a way where you just can't not, love it.
Well, on the ship, it wasn't. It was, you knew he was going to walk through the wall or whatever, but you didn't know where he was going to end up and what kind of situation was going to arise because of it.
Exactly.
And that was interesting.
It's so funny, and I love every minute of it.
Yeah.
So,
I definitely enjoyed myself.
it's better than anything DC's done in the past decade.
What was your favorite scene in the movie?
Oh my god, I can't even think of my favorite scene in the movie. Okay, we have anything Frozone did with his powers. I thought his powers were way cooler than they were in the first movie, where he just kind of slid and froze stuff. He does more than that.
Yeah, he slides more and freezes more stuff.
Yes, and also makes snow happen sometimes, depending on entrance.
That was cool.
That was so cool. I think the voice acting was so... No, it was... Sorry, specific scenes. The whole third act with stopping the boat and stopping the plane.
That was pretty good.
That was fantastic, and it had a way of... It could have been big and dumb and stupid like a lot of superhero movies become Justice League, but for this movie, they had a way with how they shot everything. I know it's animated, so no one picked up a camera, but
Yeah.
how
Or
they
framed everything.
how they framed the
Should say.
animation in such a way where it felt huge scale.
Yeah.
It felt like this boat is heading towards that city and we need to stop it right now.
Yep.
Like that.
There was a lot of tension.
Lots of tension, and you felt that the whole way through. Fuck reviews. I just want to watch it a second time.
That's true. I think my favorite scene is when Mr. Incredible, Edna, and the baby are all walking down the hallway and he's mirroring every single thing she's doing while they're walking. Every scene with Jack was the best scene.
Oh, Jack. I did not expect him to be the breakout funniest character in this movie.
It didn't. No dialogue. Best character.
And the voice activation confirmed and he walks in the door.
That was so good. Okay, you just see all this.
Just
and I
awesome.
didn't have like an overwhelming. I don't have an overwhelming opinion about it. It wasn't like the best movie ever. It was good. It was a little bit above good. It wasn't like, oh, this is gonna be a 7. It's a good movie. It's gonna be good. There was no major problems, but there wasn't a lot for me personally without like the nostalgia factor. Obviously,
Sure.
That was like, and I'm like, oh my god.
Okay.
I expected it to be good. Expectations were real good.
So this situation with you thinking it's good and me absolutely loving it is the reverse of the Ready Player One situation. This is
Or-
my Ready Player One.
It's the reverse of most movies where I'm just like, movie is 10.
10. I pick up
I'm-
every episode for that.
I'm normally the frothing retard in this situation. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes, I know exactly. That's why I'm laughing.
The thing is, when me and Jake review movies, you have to take our reviews with a little bit of a grain of salt. Because he's a little bit more critical, and I'm a little bit more of a fan.
Yeah.
And when we look at things, I go, whoa, big stuff, yay! And he's like, well, the framing in this shot, and the lighting, and the editing, don't even get me started on the editing. And I'm just like, big stuff,
You're making me sound like I need one of those hats where they're kind of sideways, but they're like the film school guy hats and like a
I
big
know
long
exactly.
pipe with like a flannel shirt
it's
where it's
like
like
a beret, and you're wearing like a mime
yes,
shirt
a beret.
and
That's
shit.
what it is.
Yeah.
I need a beret.
And you're wearing like the mime shirt, but you don't have mime makeup on, so it's really confusing.
Yep,
yeah.
with a flannel by a fireplace.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about
Oh.
Boris Karloff.
You blast your Mozart on the legend. You know what I mean? Like, every single review that we do, it's normally Ian with the little fucking spinny propeller rainbow hat, and Jake in the beret with the pipe, and I'm wearing like suspenders and overalls and shit. Like, yay! I have a big fucking lollipop in my hand.
Well, how is that different from your everyday life? I don't understand.
Normally I'm the big dummy who is like, I like 10!
So that's why we really like The Incredibles. For all those reasons listed. I'm glad we really fleshed out our ideas. Sorry that
What a
only
good
like
show.
10% of this was about The Incredibles. But
Listen, well, you know what? Fucking The Incredibles
Well, the only reason that we're not talking about positives is because the whole
I don't
fucking
wanna
movie was a
yeah,
positive.
No, it's a good movie. It's not one of those movies where you're like, oh, it's mixed opinions. You can have either opinion. No, you either have the same opinion as me or you're wrong.
Well, that's every movie, Ian, because only you are correct.